Hey guys, Ghost to Dave here with another Destiny 2 video showing off yet another weapon that I found myself to enjoy, and we missed this one going into Forsaken because this is the Nameless Midnight, the Vanguard Scout Rifle that you can get from Zavala for doing strikes that dropped in Forsaken. And I got a ton of these, I got tons of different rolls, and I dismantled them all. I never looked at it twice, until now. The Nameless Midnight is a precision frame, 180 RPM scout rifle. You got 3 different sights here. I'm rocking the short zoom hop-up sight, accurized rounds for the extra range, Zen Moment because it helps with the tiny bit of kick this thing has, and Kill Clip because it is a 180 RPM that can 3-tap, the same as Luna's Howl, the same as Not Forgotten. That means it's a 0.67 second time to kill at any range because this scout has no damage fall off because it does have a beefy range stat. I'm rocking a reload speed masterwork for Kill Clip and a hip fire grip because scouts really need that because you are not going to contest people at close range without it. So I want to start off by saying, obviously, I do not have a god roll of this weapon. I'm sure you all saw Zen Moment on a scout and thought, like, what? That's just the one I got, right? Kill Clip is a necessity. Rampage doesn't allow you to 3-tap. 3-tapping is what makes this thing special, being a 180. So you definitely want Kill Clip on it. However, in the place of Zen Moment, I would much prefer something like Moving Target because this weapon is great at boxing. Obviously, without Kill Clip, you're going to be 4-tapping Guardians, and if you're 4-tapping people who are potentially 3-tapping you, you're going to need to strafe, you're going to need to AD spam, you're going to need to wiggle a little bit, you know, you're going to need any advantage you can on them not landing their shot, so I would definitely say that Moving Target is probably the go-to for me. I do want to clarify that while I would prefer Moving Target over Zen Moment, that I don't think Zen Moment is a useless perk on this thing. Zen Moment does give it stability after the first initial shot is landed, and 180 RPM scout rifles do have a little bit more kick than the 180 hand cannons like Luna's or Not Forgotten that you might be using, so landing your first shot and then not having to worry about that, and it pretty much just feels like a larger hand cannon, I would say that's pretty good, and it does have its use. So let's talk about the numbers real quick. So, if you were to get this scout, any variant, take it into the Crucible and shoot a Guardian in the body, you'd be hitting 35 per body shot. Or if you were to shoot them in the head, you'd be hitting 55 per body shot. What this means is you can 4-tap all Guardians with 4 shots to the head, and you can actually 4-shot all Guardians, 9 resilience or below, with 3 head, 1 body, which is pretty nice. You know, it's lenient. Not all Guardians running 10 resilient, so you can get those consistent 4-taps. So I would go ahead and say that even without Kill Clip, this is pretty decent. But we'll talk about that more in a moment. If you have Kill Clip and you proc it, it is going to be hitting 46 to the body and 73 to the head. What this means is you can 3-tap all Guardians, no matter the resilience. Nice 0.67 second time to kill. And in fact, you can actually 3-tap, 2 to the head, 1 to the body, just like Luna's and Not Forgotten. All Guardians, 6 or below. So granted, they can do it to everyone, but you can still do it to 6 or below. I would say that most Guardians are running around 4, 5, 6. So if you miss a shot, you might notice you still get your 3-tap because you 2-head 1 bodied them, and the resilience happen to line up. So this weapon is very forgiving with the 4-taps and the 3-taps as well. On a scout rifle, right? And it's not even some special scout rifle, right? It's just the Vanguard Scout that everyone's dismantled every single one of, just like I did, because they're like, why would I use this thing, right? So with that being said, you might be thinking, yeah, why did you choose to use this thing? And to be honest, I've been on a bit of a scout kick recently. I've been messing around with the wrong side of right. I've been trying to get specific rolls of the Transfiguration. I've just been going after every single scout, and all of a sudden I was thinking to myself, like, why are there so few 180s? Like, what kinetic 180s are there in year 2? And then I realized this thing existed. So I farmed strikes for a little bit, and this is the only one I got, which, again, like Kill Clip, Zen Moment, it's a good roll. It's got accurized rounds for the bullet magnetism here on PC. So I was like, okay, this is pretty nice. So I tried it out for a little bit. And at first, I was just, since I'm so used to 150s, I was not firing as fast and whatnot, and my first thoughts were that this thing wasn't that good, but honestly, the more I used it, the more I realized that it was actually pretty strong, and I enjoy it quite a lot now, and it's currently holding a place in my inventory to try it out. But whenever I get weapons like this, or whenever I'm looking for weapons that like people don't really talk about and whatnot, it's because I love off-meta things in every game. I always love going into a fight with a theoretical disadvantage and using it to its fullest because it's a very satisfying feeling. It feels good to know you actually outplayed someone and you didn't go into a fight with an advantage. So that's just me. I try out stupid weapons and stupid loadouts just about all the time over at my Twitch that you can check out, link in the bio, twitch.tv/GhostTierDave. And one of two things normally happens. I either go, okay, this weapon was worse than I expected, but it was still fun to use and I had a good time. Or I go, okay, wait a second, this weapon's actually pretty good, and this is definitely one of this weapon is actually really good situations, because it's earned a spot in my Warlock's inventory. Whenever I get Equinox, I'm absolutely going to pull this bad baby out, because on maps like that, or maps like Midtown, it feels like an absolute monster. Obviously, it works really well on Meltdown as well, but on Meltdown, I also feel like it's a good auto rifle map, and I'm not going to pass on my opportunities to use one. So let's talk about sights on this thing real quick. I do want it to be clear that scout rifles, just about all of them, if the range stat is above 50, there's very few maps, probably no maps that they have any damage fall off on. So scout rifles are going to be having just about no damage fall off on any map that you take them to. So that being said, when it comes to sights, I really do believe you should just go with the low zoom sights as opposed to the long or medium. I feel like those are overkill. I feel like they're unnecessary unless you simply like the aesthetic of them. You just get more of an advantage, more of a boxing advantage, having nothing covered up on your screen, just having the red dot to track with, especially because it doesn't hurt your damage fall off, and you can still do really well at range with it if you're just, you're just tapping them in the head. It also allows you to deal with people aggressing you more, because as they're pushing up, you can be landing those shots, and when they get too close, you can unscope in and hit them with the hip fire grip. See, a lot of people like to think that scout rifles are only ever played one way. They're only ever played holding your lanes and whatnot, and I know I do that a bit in this game, but that's because we're on Meltdown and we're outside for most of it. But other than that, you really don't have to play that way, right? There are still moments where I slide around corners and I'm getting the hip fires, or I slide around a corner with already scoped in because I saw on the radar someone was there, and I quickly melt them down. So you don't have to play the way that people don't like to. Same with pulses. You can obviously play aggressive with any weapon that you so choose, and you're probably going to find results with it, because that's just how the game works. If you can outgun people, you're going to outgun people, whether you take it slow or whether you take the fight to them. And that's the way I feel about this thing. At first, I tried using it a lot slower, but as time went on, I got more and more comfortable with being aggressive with it, and I have to say, it feels really good to play aggressive and outbox hand cannons in like close range and whatnot, or just simply kill somebody before they get to you with a shotgun or with a recluse or that sort of thing. So I've pretty much only been talking about the good things of this gun, so let's go ahead and talk about the downsides that this weapon absolutely does have. So first off, while 180s with kill clip do have the ability to get those insanely quick 3 taps, being a 180 inherently makes it questionable to other scout rifles. 200 RPMs can also 4-tap and can 4-tap faster. Granted, they can never 3-tap, but they can 4-tap faster if you're not the type of person that can chain those kill clips. And 150's already 3-tap without kill clip, so if you're the person who likes your guns firing slow, then that's probably the archetype for you. But I do think that outside of time to kills and bullets to kill and whatnot, the biggest weapon of this gun is the fact that it is a returning year 1 gun. Yes, you heard that right. In year 1, a lot of guns looked very boxy like this. A lot of guns had a similar shape or a similar size. And in year 2, there are just so many scouts that are not huge rectangles. Look, with hipfire grip, you need it to deal with people at close range. However, you can clearly see why this takes up so much of your screen and why it can definitely be a disadvantage to the player using it. It just, if you're getting pushed from the right, there are chances that you won't even see someone when they slide because it's just completely blocked by this absolute monster covering up your screen. I do like the aesthetic of the gun. I think it looks cool. I like the way it takes shaders. So overall, I'm happy with it. It just sucks that there is a gameplay disadvantage to how a weapon looks, but that's something that we see in a lot of games. Weapon models being a disadvantage to the player, even though the weapon is good. So that's just one of those things you have to deal with. And then my final complaint for it is going to be the fact that while it doesn't handle flinch the worst, there are definitely moments where it can handle flinch better, and I noticed that I miss out on a kill because I missed one shot because I got hit by an ace memento shot or whatnot, but we were able to pull off a pretty good game with this gun. We were actually able to pull off a 10.25 efficiency with 41 defeats. If we would have killed that guy in super right at the end, it would have counted 42 and we'd be at the top of the leaderboard, but I can't complain. We got to fight me. We played incredibly for being what it was, and if you liked the video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Check me out on Twitch, check me out on Instagram, follow me on Twitter for updates. Do whatever you want, join my Discord, it's up to you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.